Hi, and welcome to today's IEP meeting. My name is Miss Sarah Pratt, and I am your child's teacher. The purpose of today's meeting is to go over the assessments that were done with Jean to kind of give you an overall idea of what we talked about or what was assessed on the assessments, and then give you an idea of how we are going to take those results and put them into action on her IEP and to get her services. She was given 5 formal assessments. She went with the test administrator just fine. She was a pleasure to work with from their reports. The first one she was given was the Universal Nonverbal Intelligence Test. And this test was appropriate to give to her because it's given to people from 5 to 21 years of age. They use a large number of people to create their standardized scores, their baseline scores. Jean was assessed in her memory, reasoning, her symbolic and non-symbolic quotients, and her full scale IQ. In every area, she did come across as delayed, which is not a surprise, based upon what you have reported and what the teacher has reported and others have reported that they've seen in the informal assessments. What we can look at using these results, these test results, we can use these scores to help us provide academic tasks that will strengthen her skills in memory and in reasoning, such as reading a story to Jean and then having her recall things that happened. And she can do that by pointing at pictures, or we want her to, recall colors of things. So, reading a story and saying, do you remember what color the ball was or the flowers were, things such as that. We did assess her on the Woodcock-Johnson tests of achievement, and we did see again extensive academic deficits across the board as were expected. We also want to make sure that we're taking note that she does need multiple prompts and cues in the classroom and to follow sequences. So with those results, we can then turn around and make appropriate academic goals for Jean. The adaptive behavior assessment system assessment was also given to her, and what we found from this assessment, it looks as though she could benefit from some speech therapy. The speech therapist was part of the evaluation, and so we are going to have that person come on board to look into offering that related service for Jean. She did pretty well in the areas of health, safety, leisure, and self-care. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we are going to look at a self-care goal for Jean to help her with those deficit areas. She was given the wide range assessment of visual motor abilities, and again, she was well below average, drawing shapes, matching objects, and using a pegboard. An occupational therapist also was part of this assessment team, and I do believe that having occupational therapy services for Jean could be quite beneficial, and so that will be something that we will look into at further meetings. The final assessment was the comprehensive assessment of spoken language. Again, her score was in the very below average area. So again, speech therapy services are highly recommended for Jean for her to be successfully communicating in the school setting. The goals that so far that I have developed for Jean, her functional IEP goal for academics is going to be, with the necessary accommodations and modifications provided, Jean will correctly follow a sequence of 3 steps as directed by staff with fewer than 2 prompts in a given academic situation in 3 of 4 trials by May of 2024. To put that in layman's terms, we just want her to be able to follow a sequence of 3 steps. It could be something as basic as, Jean, get out your pencil, get out your paper, and look at the board. Very simple as that. And then as we move along, it can become more involved steps that may have her to think a little more. We're going to use a tally sheet to monitor how many prompts she needs, and we're going to use a tally sheet to monitor what subjects we may find subjects that she needs more prompting in. We're also going to use a self-care goal. We're going to use a self-care goal on zipping and buttoning her jacket, and how many prompts she may need doing that task. We're going to have a visual chart with stickers to help her assess how well she does, and we're also going to have a checklist for the staff to document those goals. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me whatsoever, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.